If you haven't heard the news already, there is a brand new site coming to the US and Canada called Club WPT. Under the sweepstakes model, we're going to be able to play online poker for real prizes. So to celebrate the launch of this brand new site, WPT is also hosting a $5 million free roll poker tournament. So 2,000 people are going to fly to Las Vegas and compete for $5 million without buying in for any money. So one lucky person is going to win the tournament and walk away with over $1 million, which is incredible to turn 0 into $1 million. Anyways, if you want to participate in that, all you have to do is click the link down in the description below. Pre-register your account for Club WPT Gold. Only eligible if you are from the US or Canada. So finally, a product for Americans and North Americans. And lastly, we're gonna give away this Rolex here to one lucky person who signs up with their email. So sign up their email, no purchase required, and hopefully I'll see you guys in Vegas. What a beautiful day it is to gamble here. Hustler Casino live. We're gonna play Max Pay Monday today. I'm gonna play for only maybe 2.5 hours. I've got a very fun little softball game to go to tonight. So hopefully I can splash around for the next 2 hours and make some stuff happen. Maybe a little more aggressive, maybe a little more punty. I don't know how it can be more punty, but let's get into the video and a quick session at Max Pay Monday ensues. We're into the thick of it here, buying in for Max Payne Monday for $10,000. And we've got Nick starting off the action, raising it up to $200 in the cutoff. I'm in the small blind with Ace Jack offsuit and set to 3-bet to 900. And now Randy on my left makes the call of this 3-bet, which seems really scary, and Nick comes along as well. So we've got a pretty big pot building here, and off to a flop we go of Queen 6-7 Rainbow. Here, I'm first to act. I really don't love my hand, and I really don't love betting here in this spot, so I check it over to my opponents, and they decide to check as well. So getting to see a free turn card, which is the 6 of diamonds. It brings it back to our flush draw, but pretty useless for my hand here overall. So I just had to check out of position, and once again, we see a free river card, which is the 10 of diamonds. Once again, I don't really think this is a card that I want to put much money into with Ace Jack high. Maybe I could bluff like worst hands, but this one I'm just going to check, and Nick will end up winning with pocket nines. So overall, pretty boring hand to start, even though there was a lot of action pre-flop. And moving on to the next one, as a spoiler, this one puts me in quite the blender. So here, 3-coin Randy raises it up under the gun to $200. I'm in the cutoff and make the call with Jack 10 offsuit, and we end up going 5 ways to a flop. So no matter what happens, it's definitely going to be tricky with so many opponents in here. Flop comes King 10 deuce, 2 hearts, and now action checks to me. With pretty much a very weak, mediocre hand middle pair, I check this one with so many players left to act, and we're going to see a free turn, which is the Jack of diamonds. This is when things get spicy as I bink 2 pair, yet Kelly decides to lead out for $430. So that's already pretty scary, leading into a field of like 5 opponents. Now Randy raises to 3,000, and this is super interesting because he didn't even bet the flop. So how could he really have that strong of a hand is what I'm thinking. But I'm a little suspicious about this because his raise is so big. And now, well, action is back onto me. And I think my hand is like fine, you know, middle 2 pair, but super vulnerable. Like, what do I even want to see? It's pretty clear I don't think my opponent is going to be bluffing, and we're certainly going to have some equity maybe, but I also need to consider that Kelly is behind, who bet into 4 other people. So how sure are we that we have the best hand, and how often can we just be dead versus a straight, a set, or even a higher 2 pair? I go into the tank for a long time, and I'm really not a big fan of folding 2 pair. Like, this is such a strong hand, and it feels quite nitty, but I just go and make the fold here. Kelly ends up folding as well, and of course, we end up getting to see the hands as Randy windmills the King, Queen of Hearts. I mean, to be fair, that was one of the few hands I was actually ahead of, but not by that much, as it had lots and lots of outs against mine. So about an hour into the session, I'm stuck a few thousand at this point. I haven't won a hand yet, but King 3 diamonds can definitely pull me out of the trenches. Nate limps, and I raise from early position and get pretty much everyone at the table to call behind, basically. So 6 ways to a flop, which comes 8, 9, 6 to diamonds. We have a flush draw, but once again, against lots and lots of other opponents, I'm going to check here, and everyone ends up checking. So once again, getting this here free turn, which is the Jack of Hearts. No diamond for me. I check to another Randy on my left, and he fires out $500. There's one opponent who calls on the button, and now, well, I'm going to make the call too. Let's see some diamonds out here and gamble it up. River is the 10 of clubs. I will not be winning this hand, that's for sure. I'm not going to be bluffing. I check. Everyone ends up checking to the button, who fires $1,100. I fold, of course, my king high nothing, and Randy is in a pretty gross spot with a set, and actually what makes what I think is a pretty good fold, but just very unlucky for him that the opponent was bluffing at this time. But this hand gets over with, and we're almost 2 hours into the session, minus $4,000, near the bottom of the leaderboard. Definitely not the best start to this Max Payne Monday, but time to bounce back with another king tray. Once again, this time of the club variety. Once again, I have no respect from anyone at the table, as I haven't won a hand, and we end up going 6 ways to a flop yet again, which comes pretty good this time. King 9-4, 2 hearts. Action's going to check to Randy, who fires out $600. Tyler makes the call, and now with a very bad top pair, I must say. Probably one of the worst top pairs available outside of King Deuce. Anyways, it's still top pair nonetheless, and I think it's a really good spot to just kind of get it in and check raise. So I decided to check raise to 2,200, and both players end up folding as I had the best hand. So let's celebrate. Broke the curse. After 2 painful hours, I finally won a hand, and let's pick up some momentum where I pick up 9-8 of spades in the cutoff. I raised it to 200, and then Randy on my left 3-bets me to 400. I thought this size was pretty funny. I just don't really think Randy ever has anything strong here, so I'm going to do a little min click for the LOLs. You know, it's called the laugh out louds. I make it $600, and I get real punished because I guess Randy did have a good hand, and he just decides to rip $10,000 into my face. That is insane, but I obviously get punished, and I fold pretty quickly. Got to fold 9 high, of course, but this was definitely a hand I wanted to see a flop with. So this hand, though, while very short, sets up the next dynamic where the very next shuffle here, Nate limps, and I see pocket 10s in the hijack. I raise it to 200, and now Sashimi takes her turn to 3-bet me to 700. Action folds to me, and right after the hand that I joke 4-bet with a bad hand, I conveniently have a real hand this time and decided to do the same thing and 4-bet to 1,200, a little min click once again for the LOLs. But Sashimi is not playing for the LOLs and decides to 5-bet me to 3,000. Oh my goodness. I mean, this is a little annoying here. Like, I'm in my own head now, clearly. Like, did I induce this, or does she just have a really good hand? Notoriously, I think Sashimi has just played super straight up with me, and usually on the tighter side, and always shown down good hands. But because this is a smaller game that we usually play, then maybe she can splash, and maybe I'm up against Ace King again? I don't know. Take my time here and decide to spin the wheel, not muck this one, not throw it in the bin, and hope we're flipping. I'm all in, and snap! Yeah, you can see the graphics. It's not very good for me. This is very, very bad, actually. The complete opposite of good, I must say. 20% chance to win, and, well, it's not going to come. No, it's not going to come at all. Did you ever think it was going to come, guys? Really? No 10, and after climbing back a little bit here, I ship my entire stack to Sashimi, and things are, I must officially announce, they are not going super well today. Now we're moving on to one of the last hands of the night here, about 3 hours into the stream. This is another big hand with Jack 10 offsuit from the small blind here. I raise and I get the big blind straddle to call. Graphics are a little bit delayed, but the flop comes Ace Queen 5 rainbow, and I check out of position. Randy checks, and Sashimi now throws out a bet of 300. I just don't believe her to have like a good enough hand to be betting as much as she is probably on this board. So here with Jack 10, I have a gut shot straight draw, trying to rep some stronger stuff. I decide to check raise to 1,000. Randy gets out of the way, and now trying to apply pressure on exactly what Sashimi has, but she makes the call, not feeling that pressure at all. When the turn is the deuce of clubs, it doesn't improve me, and I definitely want to continue blasting here, so I fire out 1,800. Can she please fold? I mean, she's already owned me once today. I mean, I really just want Queen Jack specifically to get out of there because it's not that good of a hand, but no, she's soul reading me. It makes the call. It's like today, everyone is just playing perfectly against me somehow, and when the river is the 6, it's no help, and I just kind of give up, expecting her to not fold the river, and I see the bad news that she's got, well, the hand I wanted her to fold. Queen Jack is going to win. Can't bluff. Can't win anymore today. And shortly after, my time is up. I've got a softball game to go to, and at least this softball game will save me from bleeding thousands of dollars at this poker game. Alrighty, wrapping things up on a very busy, fun day. Poker-wise, didn't do well. Softball-wise, though, played for the first time in a long time, and 2 hits, got a walk. The other team didn't know how to actually play any softball, so we won 22-2, I believe. And those 2 runs that they scored were because our team wanted to give them a few runs for funsies. Poker-wise, didn't do the best. Basically, lost, how much money did I lose? I lost $15,690. So turning me downwards into this road to $1 million challenge. Swinging up and down, but at least last couple episodes, it seems like I'm on the right direction, but trying to figure out how to play cash games again. But thanks for watching. See you guys next time in the next episode. And that's it. Just see you guys. Whatever.